10 o'clock at night and your accounting staff is still hard at work. And whether it's income taxes, audits, whatever the reason, working into the night is no fun. Next morning you decide to do something about it and call the one temporary financial agency that is professional enough for your business. AccountTemp 788-7030. AccountTemp's employees are able to relieve hundreds of specialized emergencies, including bookkeeping, tax returns, audits, general ledger, reconciliations, and inventory. AccountTemp's people are not just temps, they're highly skilled professionals between permanent positions who enjoy applying their skills productively. Like its parent company, Robert Half Personnel, AccountTemps is the world's largest organization specializing exclusively in financial occupations, and has 4 Bay Area offices: San Francisco, Oakland, Palo Alto, and San Jose. Remember the name, AccountTemps. When your company needs help, you and your accounting staff can go home smiling. Call AccountTemp 788-7030.
News 20 minutes before the hour on KMPX San Francisco.
Good evening, Rick Wagstaff reporting. A buying stampede on Wall Street today drove the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 22.78 points to close at 883.49, its highest level in a year. Market analysts attributed the rally to optimism that interest rates are nearing their peak and that double-digit inflation may ease temporarily. The House today voted to approve an amendment that would halt arms shipments to Chile until the Santiago government extradites 3 suspects in a 1976 Washington assassination, but later voted to let the shipments continue. The action came as the House contemplated work on a foreign aid authorization bill. At least 3 people died in flash floods today as torrential rain spawned by tropical storm Amelia inundated central Texas hill country. The flood water swept away cars and homes and forced hundreds of people to flee to higher ground. Authorities fear the death count will rise when floodwaters recede. Some 400 young people from Vietnam, Laos, Puerto Rico, Canada, and the United States attending the 11th World Festival of Youth and Students in Cuba got a political pitch from Fidel's oldest brother today. Ramon Castro welcomed them to a cattle breeding plant and appealed for an end to the U.S. economic blockade of Cuba. Texan Red Adair's firefighters were called to Iran today to try to control a huge fire threatening a vast new oil field discovered 500 miles southwest of Tehran. Iranian officials say the fire will be extremely difficult to stop because of the unusually high pressure of the gas and oil spewing out of it. Detroit Mayor Coleman Young says he'll fire striking garbage men and transit workers if they don't end their 2-day-old wildcat strike. Young's news secretary says a court injunction will be served on each striking union by tomorrow, and any worker still off the job will be automatically dismissed. The New York State Health Department is recommending that pregnant women, that is, and children under age 2 leave their homes near the Love Canal chemical landfill in Niagara Falls because a health emergency has been declared. Some 82 industrial chemicals have been identified as oozing from the ground. A special grand jury investigating the Beverly Hills Supper Club fire that killed 165 people in May of 1977 cleared Kentucky state officials and owners of the Newport night spot of any criminal negligence, but a mountain of civil litigation remains in federal and Kentucky state courts. 6 New York City firemen plunged to their deaths through the roof of a Brooklyn supermarket that collapsed and engulfed them in flames. Today's tragedy is the single worst disaster for the city's firemen in 12 years. Fire officials say that at least 34 other firemen and 1 policeman were injured. The Senate has approved and sent on to the White House legislation raising the government's temporary debt ceiling to $798 billion through March 31st of 1979. Once the president signs the bill, the Treasury Department can resume savings bond sales, suspended because the debt had reached the current limit. And in sports, in afternoon baseball action in the National League, Philadelphia down the New York Mets 8-6 and Chicago over St. Louis 3-2. Over in the American League, Baltimore beat Milwaukee, got by Milwaukee 6-5 in 10 innings, and completion of the game suspended. Completion of the game suspended on July 31st. The North American Soccer League today denied a protest lodged by the Philadelphia Fury over a game won by Toronto last Saturday night. The protest concerned an intercepted free kick, which led to Toronto's winning goal. The Chicago White Sox today called up pitcher Bert Burns from their Appleton, Wisconsin club and sent outfielder Henry Cruz to the Iowa Farm Club. The St. Louis Cardinals football team dropped wide receiver Tom Gerardine, fullback Dennis Wright, and cornerback Randy Colbert from the club yesterday. Gerardine is a 4-year veteran of the National Football League. And Sam Snead has taken himself out of the field for the PGA Golf Championship because of pains in his leg. The tournament begins tomorrow at Oakmont, Pennsylvania. And the Bay Area weather, fair through Friday, except fog or low clouds near the coast, extending inland nights and mornings. Overnight temperatures in the 50s. Highs tomorrow and Friday near 60 at the beaches to the low 80s inland. Small craft advisory included in Suisun Bay and West Delta, or westerly winds to 30 miles per hour, afternoons and evenings. And that's a look at the news from KMPX. Rick Wagstaff reporting. Getting back to the music, Erskine Hawkins and Blackout.